So it's Friday night, and my daughter is at her friend's. It's summer too, so she's staying the night at her friend's house tonight. So it was just me. I got home from work and I just rested. I just laid down and just chilled. I actually went through like old photos from like 2015, 2016. A bunch of stuff that I just needed to delete. Memes and stuff like that. I had a lot of those on there. I didn't realize I saved so many. You know, it's not that fun to fold laundry, is it? It's like, how come no one's invented like that, right? Or, but chores are chores. My daughter was going through a phase, it was like a year or two ago, where, we clean on Sunday, we do deep cleaning and like major cleaning on Sundays. And she went through this phase where she was like, the next thing on the list, she's like that, walking around like, or like she would fold, here's the tell, she would fold it like, so I was like, hey, look, listen, do you think I want to be cleaning this mirror? She's like, I don't know. I was like, no, look, do you think I want to be cleaning this mirror right now? She's like, no. It's like, okay, you think I have other things I could be doing, right? That I would enjoy more? Yeah. I was like, okay. But why am I doing it? Because I have to do it, right? Yeah. There are things we have to do in life that we don't necessarily love to do or enjoy. We have to do it. So instead of complaining and thinking about how we don't want to do it, we need to find the joy in doing it, because we have to do it. I was like, do you think that was natural for me to just sing a song while I'm cleaning this mirror? Hotty-dotty-day, I love doing this. No. I said I put on music and we clean, and I jam the hell out the whole time I'm cleaning. We have a whole concert, mopping, sweeping, cleaning baseboards, and everything that needs to be done, because that's how I have learned to find joy in doing the things that we have to do. I was like, and she's like, and I said, and so the fact that I make you do it, maybe you're upset because I make you do these things. And it's like, so-and-so, I don't know if she was thinking this, but so-and-so doesn't have to do this, or so-and-so gets paid to do it, and that kind of thing. But I said, if you think that it's wrong of me to make you do these things, I'm giving you a gift by teaching you to do it. I said, do you want to grow up not knowing how to do stuff? I said, I promise you, there are people who don't know how to do stuff. They don't know how to clean a toilet. They don't know how to clean the countertops before they sweep or mop, okay? People don't know that stuff. And I want you to know that so you can do it, because you have to do it when you're older. And then I told her how important it was to be clean, and I explained all that in like the physical way, and also like mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's important to stay, to keep your house clean and keep things in order. And it really is. This isn't one I even got on here to talk about, but that's okay. So I will talk about it though. for instance, so I used to, um, sorry, I used to do, I like to say romance consultant, but I would go to different people's houses that I didn't know, and it would be like giant, some of them giant, and some of them little groups of women, um, and talk to them about sex and about, um, you know, their reproductive system, their all the organs that go with that, and like how to help that with their in their relationships. Um, and then they would each go one by one into a room, a designated room, and consult with me. They would tell me all of their sexual problems. I heard so much interesting stuff, but they told me all their sexual problems, their sexual needs and desires and questions and all that, right? And so I helped them. I gave them advice, and then like I suggested products, you know, that I sold. I suggested products to them that would help them. And you know, side note, there were men that would message me like a couple weeks later, and they, or like a couple months later, and they would tell me that I saved their marriage. That blew my mind, but it gave me that sense of purpose, like I was doing something really good. Anyway, okay, I told you all that to tell you this. So one of the main problems that those people had, I think, was, especially the women, was like clutter in their like room and their surroundings, because men are more like mind over matter. That's just, I hate to separate gender like that, but the genetic makeup and like DNA is different, and hormones are different in female and male. They just are. And males tend to be mind over matter. You know, they see one thing and they have tunnel vision. But women are not like that. Okay, so if you're in your bedroom and there's like a TV on, and there's like a pile of laundry on the floor, or there's like clutter everywhere, it's gonna be hard to get your mind in the right place to be turned on and be able to have like a really great, satisfying experience with your partner. It may not seem like that, but it's true. Once you start keeping your area like clean and get rid of all the clutter in there, the pictures of kids and stuff too, yeah, or family, you know, and stuff in your room, yeah, that's not gonna help you get into the right spot. So not only like for sexual reasons, but for other reasons as well. So like energy, all vibrations and frequencies stick and grab onto objects. All right, so even like antiques and things like that too, or if you have an object that you took somewhere that had a negative or dark or lower vibrational energy, and you brought it home with you, you brought that energy home with you too. Okay, if you have old items like memorabilia, memorabilia, like keepsakes and stuff, keepsake items and stuff like that, or anything that has like it gives you like a negative emotion, or like that's attached to some event that was like traumatic or something that you haven't healed, then all that energy is stuck to that. It's like it's in there. It's on it. It's stuck to it. Okay. In antiques, it's like, think of how long and how old those energies are that are on that item, right? So, and then plus clutter. So anywhere there's a lot of clutter, a lot of stuff in one place that's just cluttered up, like that, any energy you bring in, you know, it moves around. So like it can attach to anything in your home and around you. So if you have a bunch of clutter, then it makes it easier for energy to get stuck on those things. Also, like if you like, it's important to like move stuff around in your home too, and it will help actually get certain things in your life like flowing better and moving better in your life. I know that from experience too. I'm not sure if I've talked about feng shui before, but I did study that briefly. And I did little things like for the energy to flow better and stuff like that. There's certain parts of your home, if you look up like a feng shui map, it'll tell you like certain areas of your home that coincide or correlate to different areas of your life. And I'm not sure if I told this story, so sorry if I did already, but I had a client and she was telling me something that she was going through, and she was, you know, it's been a long thing that she's been going through, and then she was telling me that her son was coming over that weekend to help her clear out this room in her home. This room in her home had all kinds of boxes and just junk in it. It was like kind of like a junk room or something. Okay, they never had anything in there since they moved into it, except for junk. It was just a bunch of stuff, like not even organized, right? So I was like, out of curiosity, I asked her like where it was in the house, where the room was located. And she told me, and I promise you, like, I stopped doing her hair and I pulled out my phone and I showed her the feng shui map to show her that that room like correlated exactly with that area of her life that felt stuck in like bad luck in it, you know? So like her wanting to clean that out and stuff was right on the money. Like she, you know, it was perfect for that. But so that area of her life could get moving, and she could feel like she has some better luck in that area. I know it sounds crazy, but everything in life and in your experience is like connected. Everything is connected. Okay. All right. So anyways, I was resting today and I really wanted to go do something. Like, I haven't really been talking to many people. You know, this has been guided. I don't really want to call it hermit mode anymore, but this like quiet time with myself and healing time has been completely guided. So, but tonight I was like, I want to do something. So, you know, I got dressed and got out of the house, and I was just gonna go to like Houston and see what I could get into. Just something, I don't know. Sometimes I like to go places by myself anyways. But like sometimes I'll just go to dinner by myself or walk around, you know, somewhere by myself. So, but I kind of wanted to find somewhere with music and stuff like that. So I was on my way, and like I was almost to the next city, and I saw Chili's, and I felt like this impression or pull to go there, and I was like, all right, I guess that's where I'm going, right? I wasn't disappointed, but I was like, wow, what's happening here? I don't know. So I went in, and you know, it was packed. There were all kinds of people, and a lot of people there. Everyone was waiting for a table, but since there was just one, it was just a table for one, I went and sat pretty quickly. But the table, a table close to me, had, I could tell that one of the boys that was sitting there had just graduated, and I was kind of overhearing them talking about it as I was walking by to sit down. So I stopped at their table, like on the way to getting seated, and I was like, did you just graduate? Why aren't you wearing your hat? You know, he didn't want to wear his hat, and I said, you should have worn your hat so everybody knows you graduated, so everybody can congratulate you. And he said he doesn't care. And I said, you mean to tell me you don't care? You're not going to care if I tell you congratulations, you made it. And he's like, yeah, and he got all embarrassed. And, you know, he said thank you and stuff like that. And then everybody at the table was like smiling and, you know, all that stuff. And I congratulated his parents and stuff like that. And I went and sat down. So, and then I asked, you know, I got my water with lemons. I told her I wasn't going to eat anything really, probably. And I asked her for some paper and a pen. Yeah, I'm a weirdo that goes to a restaurant and does that. So what? So So what I was doing is, well, I love to write, number one, and I was just writing away. And at the top of the paper, I wrote all the numbers that were just at the top of my head that I've been seeing for a couple of days. I just wrote them down. And I remember numbers. I'm like, I don't know. I just remember numbers, and I remember like formulas and stuff like that. I just remember them. So I wrote them all down. And then I was writing some stuff down that I was kind of studying too. And like in the middle of writing, I heard like I don't hear things audibly. It's like more of an impression, like it's an inner voice. I don't know how to describe it, but I felt, you know, the reason I'm saying that is because sometimes people, well, I heard this and people are like, you heard that? Some people do, but I don't like hear it like that, like in my ear. So anyways, I got this impression about the boy that I talked to at that table. And it was like, he needs to know that he is going to have an opportunity to speak to a large group of people. But he's going to be an inspiration and an encouragement to them in some way, because he's had to struggle growing up with something. Okay? And I'm like, we're at a restaurant. They're enjoying their dinner. And it's always like that. Every time I get like a word for someone or whatever, I'm always like, she's grocery shopping. Why I gotta bother her? And it's always like God or the divine or my spirit team is always like, no, they need to hear this right now. This is the divine time for them to hear this. And it always ends up being like that. But tonight I was like that again, because I was just like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people at the table and stuff. Anyways, I'm sitting there, and so I told myself, or I told God, I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait until you know, they start getting up to go. So that, you know, they had a lot going on and stuff, talking and everything. And like, I'm still writing. And like, I wrote the name Isaac down because of what I was studying. And it was like God was letting me know somehow impressionly, and by impression, that this kid had a Bible name. I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if it's Isaac. That's cool. Okay, whatever. Okay. And then all of a sudden I got this also another impression that like he needs to watch the people he's around, because integrity is going to be really important, because of the things that he's going to say, and the things that he's going to share with these people to inspire them, and to be careful, like the people that he's around, because even if he has integrity and, you know, he's honest and like has fair dealings and stuff like that, the people he's around can like rub off on him, or people might think that he's not doesn't have good intentions if the people that are around him all the time don't have good intentions, right? Okay, so I'm starting to think about like, how am I gonna say this, da da da. And then I got this like pain on my left side of the left side of my head. I was like, what in the world? And it was spirit like telling me, you're thinking about it too much, because this is your left side's your intuitive side. So like the spirit was letting me know, like, stop thinking about it, it's just gonna flow. And I was like, all right, I already know this stuff. Like, I don't know why I was more nervous today to do that. I think it was just because it was a big group of them and I didn't want to interrupt their dinner. So anyway, I was like, all right, I will. So they're starting to do it up, and you know, I asked if one of them was his dad, and he wasn't, and he pointed me to his dad. I was like, all right. So I went over there and I was like, hey, I was like, my name's Dana. I have a word from God to share with your son. Is that okay? And he was so happy to oblige. I mean, he was like, yes, go ahead. Yes. I mean, just like he asked for it or something. I don't know. That was just, I love that. So he called his son over there, And I told him, and when he told, oh, his name was Jeremiah. So I looked at his dad and I said, I was shown that his name was going to be a Bible name. And he's like, really? I said, yeah. I said, so that's kind of confirmation. I love that. And he's like, yeah. So the kid was standing there and I told him everything. And I noticed that he had a speech impediment. Just a little bit of one. And that just warmed my heart so much because of the message for him was like he had to struggle, right? And it was about like, when I was telling him what I was telling him, it was like so that he needed to have confidence, and to if he had a an opportunity to speak, don't feel self-conscious or like you can't do it, because you've been given this confidence and that you've overcome this struggle that you've overcome in order to do this. It's part of your purpose. And I was like, you might feel a little something like a stirring in your soul right now. And he said he did. I was like, that's because it's your soul saying, yeah, it's confirmation. This is part of your purpose. And I said, and sometimes the things that we struggle through and struggle with and then overcome are the very things that are used to fulfill what we came here for. And it was awesome. He thanked me and everything like that, and I just was so grateful. I'm always so grateful when that happens. Yeah, so the last part of this I wanted to tell you is, so the numbers I was writing, right? Okay, well, number one, like a year or two ago, I felt like super like kind of overconfident to ask God this, but I'm like, okay, God, with you all things are possible, right? So like if there's some way where I can like miraculously learn another language, that would be cool, because I had downloaded Babbel and I was like, I'm gonna learn a language, yeah, and I never did it. I never committed to doing it. So I was like, okay, God, just like infuse me with that language, you know what I mean? I'm like, doesn't hurt to ask, right? So check this out. Whenever I started channeling different words like that I didn't understand, I'm like, and I realized it was Hebrew. Not only did God answer my prayer in that different way that I wasn't expecting, but when I would channel messages, it's like when I channel messages, it's like it gives me faith, or like it helps reiterate to me that it's not just my mind doing it. Because sometimes, especially in the beginning of automatic writing, I would write and it would be like, yeah, that came from my mind, like, because it's English and everything, and just arguing with myself about it. That was just my ego, But whenever I do it in Hebrew, it's like God's like, see, there's no way you would have written that with your ego. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So sometimes I get messages in Hebrew. All right. Okay, and then I've been kind of touching on Greek lately too. All right, so check this out. The numbers. I got this impression. I was almost done writing, and I was about to leave. And I got this like weird like nudge to translate these 7 numbers into Hebrew or Greek, right? Okay. So the first one means 2 hills or a city. So I click on it, and right away it said perhaps 2 hills. Like, so it wasn't for sure what it meant. Like there's no like definite definition of it or translation. So I was like, I could have tried to translate it myself, but like I was about to leave and stuff. So I was like, let me try Greek. So I did. So this is what they mean in order. And as I'm doing this, I'm writing it down, I feel this overwhelming like positivity or like love or like a certain feeling as I'm doing it to show me that this is what I was led to do for sure, right? Because it sounds crazy. Anyways, I did it in order, and it says a setting aside unjustly to be able to discover a meeting with a queen sword. Okay. Unjustly being set aside to be able to come to know or discover meeting a queen of swords. Swords mean truth. So remember how I said hermit mode and it was guided? To get to know myself and to come to know a queen of truth. I love that.